Welcome to the Armchair GM podcast. What do you think the Calgary Flames are going to do this summer? Let me tell you, we're about to give you our bold picks. You are watching the Armchair GM podcast.
Well, I'm not sure how extremely bold all of these takes are. There's a couple good ones here, but definitely gonna get into the summer a little bit. But I wanted to kick it off by talking a little bit about the finals, because you and I haven't really talked since the first round, actually.
Sure.
And I believe right now we're tied 3-3 in game 2 going into overtime, or it's overtime just started between the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes, a series where many people were complaining at how boring it was going to be. And honestly, I think game 1 was one of the best games of the playoffs.
That's obviously I didn't give Vegas a chance to even be here. Carolina was my pick coming out of the East, so I'm kind of excited about that. What's there to be said about how Vegas just handled Colorado to get into this position, right? Like that, like unreal. Yeah, unreal. Like it blew me away. If you would have told me, 8 days later, what a waste, that that would have been the outcome, I would have laughed at you. Like, obviously, that was an outrage.
People probably lost a lot of money on that series.
100%. Yeah, the Vegas odd makers, they lost a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And I mean, how many times have you seen that meme going around? Dude, where's my car?
Yeah.
No, this series has been really good. I'm still thinking Carolina is going to pull it out, but I mean, at this point, like, it's literally anybody's game. I think it goes 7. Obviously, there's a lot at stake for the Flames fans. Getting that second round pick turning into a first, which would be great. So I mean, I've never cheered for Vegas before, so I don't know if I'm going to. I'll be hopefully optimistic, or hopeful and optimistic. I don't know what you would call it. I think it'd be kind of neat if Marner was to win the cup his first year after leaving Toronto, just for the
it's just
just for the slap in the face, mostly.
It's hilarious, man. Toronto, it's whether it's media driven or fan driven, I think it's both. It's like none of them can read a stats page or like watch the games. Like, yeah, Marner probably fucked up a little bit, during the playoffs in the past, but which player hasn't?
Right.
But it's not like he was bad. He was almost a point a game over his last 3 playoffs in Toronto. And he disappeared in games 4 through 7 or whatever. It's like, but what's that?
Carolina just scored in overtime.
Oh, nice.
But you're absolutely right. Like, was it him that disappeared in the playoffs, or potentially, the greatest scorer on the ice in the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Like, I think Matthews was a greater disappointment in all those playoffs over Marner, in my opinion.
Yeah, Marner reminds me a lot of Gaudreau in the fact that people are like, oh, you can never win with him. He's too small. He disappears in the playoffs. But like, when you look at Gaudreau's playoff stats, he was always pretty steady. Like, maybe not the best in the league in the playoffs, but he was always pretty steady in the playoffs. Same with Marner. Marner's hit a different level, don't get me wrong, but like, he's also on a team where everybody's scoring. Like, Brett Howden has like 12, 13 goals. Like, how is that a thing? For me, like, it's hard for me to cheer for Vegas. like I have in the past because I don't mind the heel aspects of hockey. Like I like Kucherov and I like Kachuk and both Kachucks and I like, you know, the Lightning and the Golden Knights usually, but it's really hard for me to cheer for Carter Hart, and I just can't fucking bring myself to do it. So I'm not going
Yeah.
to. I want that first round pick instead of a second round pick in 2028, but I really don't. I'm not gonna go fucking nuts cheering for that team because I like how they make ruthless decisions, but that I don't think that decision is. I mean, obviously he's playing good, but I don't think that decision was a necessary thing. And
Uh,
they do that.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'm definitely not going out and buying a jersey or a T-shirt or a hat. Um, I do. I personally would rather Carolina to win. I want Brindamore to win as a coach. I think that would be very cool. I think they've been deserving. They've had such a weird set of bad luck and circumstances over the last few years in the playoffs that I think they put in the work and they're deserving of it.
And
So
they
like my
steamrolled their
preference is
games
for
too.
yeah, truly. Yeah. Yeah. They especially in the first couple of rounds, they look great.
Well, didn't they lose one game in the first 3 rounds?
Sounds right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. I mean, and as it is right now, after 2 games at home, they're going to be going to Vegas tied at 1. So, I mean, I think it has the makings of being a really, really good series. It's not nearly as boring as people are saying. I don't see why it would be, to be honest. Obviously Vegas has some scores. Marner being the number one in the playoffs already, and um, I think Eichel's just right behind him too, like 3 points or something like that, 2 points. So I mean, like they have the skill, they have the players to make it exciting, and so does Carolina. Like honestly, they are a different team than they have been in the past few years, where they were just very defensive and just kind of boring shutdown hockey. They're
I
actually more
find
exciting now.
Ehlers and Gostisbehere have really helped
True. Yeah.
a lot when it comes to it's like Ehlers carries the puck a lot, and both him and Gostisbehere are relatively dynamic. Maybe not like the most dynamic guys in the league, but like, man, Winnipeg's got to be shooting themselves for not keeping Ehlers and
Ehlers, yeah.
I like Ehlers is a guy who I'm a big fan of. I'd like to see him win a cup.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care honestly about
No.
specific players winning the cup. Like there was a if Colorado was going to get in to the finals, I was going to be like, Brent Burns deserves a cup for like he's the
Mm,
Iron Man and he's fucking
yeah.
been on how many really really good teams in his life and he's never quite got there and he's always been a good player and he's still a contributor and he's one of my favorite non-flames.
Yeah.
So, but generally speaking, I have an Anderson jersey up there, but I don't really care if Anderson wins a cup. I don't really care if
Yeah.
Hanifin wins a cup. In fact, I kind of don't want him to win a cup. I don't really
Yeah.
care if
I'd rather
any of these
Hannafin
guys.
not win.
Yeah, I don't really care if any of these guys win a cup.
Yeah.
There's no like Brent Burns level. This guy has been in the league forever and is really good and just a player that everybody loves type of thing that should win a cup. There's nobody like that on either team, so I don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's fair. I mean, I don't particularly care either way either. Aside from the draft pick aspect for the Calgary Flames. So I mean, I guess, and I did mention the Marner thing. I think that would be just for pure comedy. I think that'd be fantastic because
Oh,
I
hilarious.
Toronto media would just break down, and so would their fan base. That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Um, that being said, I wouldn't mind Stahl getting himself a cup, and
another one.
Jarvis. I think would be cool. And the only downside I find when it comes to Carolina, I really don't want Hall to win a cup, but that's okay. I'm willing to put my feelings aside for the individual himself and just whatever. I don't really
Yeah,
truly
Hall's
don't care. Yeah.
I've met that guy. I've met him, and given he was like 19 or 20 at the time, and people grow up and mature in theory, but he was, for many reasons, one of the least impressive people I've ever met in my life. And I yeah, I could go with him not winning a cup for sure. But again, people grow, right? That was,
Yeah.
I don't know, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, who knows? It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was way longer than that. It would have been like, yeah, would have been way longer than that. But yeah. Anyways, let's get on to some flame stuff.
Flame stuff.
Flame stuff. So
Jeez.
there's not a whole lot going on in Flames land right now. There's a whole lot of speculation about trades and stuff like that going on. But I want to do some summer predictions from you and I, just kind of discussing what we think is going to happen throughout the summer, what Conroy is and isn't going to do. So why don't you kick it off?
When I kick it off, I think I'm going to save my big bold one till the end. So make sure you're paying attention, and staying with us through this show, because it's a doozy.
Yeah.
But I think that during this summer, and I think it kind of ties in with one of your maybe your second one in your list, but I think that the Flames are going to part ways and trade Connor Zary at some point through the summer, likely right at the draft. Whether they're using him as a piece to move up, a notch or two in the draft, or whatever the case may be. But I think, given the utilization that Zary has been given in this last year for sure, and even a bit in the year before, I think that he doesn't seem to have the trust of the coach, and I think he's being stunted as far as his growth. And I think it would be a good move for the team and player to move to separate from each other and move on. It's unfortunate because I know you're an extremely big fan of Zari. I am a big fan as well,
Yeah.
but just given his injuries and just his lack of utilization on the Calgary Flames, I think it's likely time for Zari to go find a new home and see what he can actually do on a team that allows him to break out of his shell.
Yeah. I obviously, I don't really want that to happen. Like you said, I'm a big fan of Connor Zary. I don't like, honestly, like all pretty much all of Huska's coaching moves over the last year. I've liked. I've liked how he's deployed pretty much every player. I liked the sitting Zane until they figured out that Zane was ready to, not have the occasional day off, and then they were like, oh, he's ready to do this, and then he played Zane the rest of the season. I liked pretty much all of his moves with younger players. When Gridden got a lot of opportunity, all that type of stuff. Brustevich got lots of opportunity, all that type of stuff. Zary was the only thing I didn't like, is how he deployed Zary, and it's not just the um it's not just the playing time, but it's the different line mates and the different positions, right? Um, Even after games where Zary was good and showed that he played well with his line mates, we talked about this 100 times, but
Mhm.
Zary would get randomly demoted for no apparent reason. Now, there were obviously lots of times where, maybe he didn't show out very well and he'd get demoted halfway through the game or whatever. But like there was games where he would play left wing, right wing, and center on three different lines. How are you
In
how are
in the
you
same game.
progressing as a player if you have no
Yeah.
continuity when it comes to any part of your game? So I didn't like that, and I agree with you when it comes to you know it probably being time for him to move on. Um, Again, I don't want it to happen, but I could definitely see that. Yeah,
Yeah. It's super tough. Like obviously you're not going to build chemistry when you have different line mates pretty much every night. And it's especially difficult to get chemistry when you're playing a different fucking position. Like how do you play, you know, two, sometimes three positions in a game?
yeah,
Like you just you can't get ahead of it. Like there was no rhyme or reason really from what I saw for what Huska was doing. At the beginning of the year, Zari was really struggling, and I kind of got where he was being held down and not utilized and not played very often. But then he started, emerging through, as the season progressed, and I thought he earned more playing time, and I didn't see any reason for him to be stapled to the fourth and third line for as much as he was, right?
exactly.
Yeah, okay, there was a couple of games where okay, fine, you put him back down for a game just to get him to get his head back into it, but like he would have one of the best games he had all season and then get demoted, which is just bizarre.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And honestly, it is what it is. Not every player is going to work out for every team. I'm scared.
yeah.
I'm not scared that he's going to turn into Bennett because I know a lot of people think that Bennett um is like an extremely elite player now. I'm not going to get into that, but I am
I mean,
scared.
Bennett turned around Huberdeau's career in Florida. What are you talking about?
You mean the season when Bennett had like 45 points or something like that, and Huberdeau had 115?
100%. How do you think Huberdeau got that
Right.
115?
Okay. Uh,
Sam fucking Bennett.
yeah, because Bennett was driving that line. Uh,
Yeah, it wasn't
so
Declare.
yeah. Well, Declare I think had more points than Bennett, but anyways,
Fair,
um,
fair.
I'm not afraid of that. What I'm afraid of is just that Zeri becomes, a, a good like second line player on another team. Is that the end of the world? No, but there's qualities that he has that if he can put it together, I know he's 24 or something like that, but there's qualities that he has that I can see being a significant contributor to a good team. Like maybe not a first line guy, but a guy who can be on the first power play and a guy who can play in your top six, whether it be left wing or center. Move around a little bit, maybe not every game or multiple times a game, but like a little bit.
Mm,
But I'm afraid of seeing that happen with like one of the Flames' rivals, right? I don't
yeah.
want to see that happen. However, it is time. I think it's time. I don't. Again, I'll stop there. But
Well, it's funny when you look at his career, right? Because he spent 3 years with the Flames. He has missed a bunch of time in the last two seasons with injury and whatnot, which is super and super shitty for his development and whatnot,
yeah,
especially his first couple of years, right? But I
yeah,
mean, like the 1 year where he played the most games, his first season, where he was mostly playing with Kadri and Pops and yeah, Pospisil. The even then, like as exciting as he was, and that was the reason why you and I both were like, oh wow, look at this guy, this is fantastic, he's doing great. He still only had 25 points, right, out of 74 games, and so it's not like he was the world beater as far as point production, but there was signs of greatness in almost every game that he played that year.
there was
And so that
signs
was
of
the thing. Like,
play driving.
yeah.
Like he wasn't constantly play driving, but there were some good signs of like a
Mhm.
puck carrier who could protect the puck and keep the puck away from other players and draw other opponents towards him. That was my biggest thing with him. Like, yeah, he was getting greasy goals in behind the goalies and stuff like that from time to time, but like it was more how he carried the puck around the zone that I really liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How he carried the puck, how he drove the net on occasion. That was really impressive.
Yeah.
He will be missed, but I do think that the Flames are going to move on with him
Yeah.
or from him. I think I still think that he would garner decent return even on his own, but I think he would be a really good piece to package up with, maybe one or two of the second round picks that we have in this year's draft to really move up and utilize some of the draft capital that is happening or that you're seeing produce in this draft class. I think this is the year that if they play their cards right, they can really alter the franchise. Yeah.
Speed up the rebuild without
Yeah.
doing it forced,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of rolls into one of mine. I'm saying the Vegas first round pick will be packaged with either players or other picks or both to move up.
Mhm.
Now the sixth overall pick, I think there's enough really, really good players that the Flames like. I don't think that they're going to move up from that. I think it's going to be too costly for them. But I do think that they're going to try and move up from 31 or 32, or sorry, 30 or 31, wherever the Vegas pick ends up, in order
Mhm.
to move up to the 22 to 25, maybe 20 to 25 range. Just to make sure they pick a guy that they want, like that they really
Right.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's I don't think they're moving up into, the first four, that's for sure, with anything that we have. I think the first three is way too costly and not worth it because I think we're gonna get a really stellar player even at six. So if we can land somewhere, I mean, obviously the lower the better, but I mean if we can land somewhere in the 20 to 22 mark, with that Vegas pick, I think that would be a huge win for Conroy. So I mean,
Exactly.
as it is right now, like they'll end up either being 31 or 32, right?
No, 30 or 31, because the Ottawa pick that got
Oh,
taken
yeah,
away, they gave
right.
it back, but they put it at the end of the first round.
At the end
So
of it.
Ottawa's getting
Yeah, yeah,
32, so it'll be 30 or 31.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah,
nonsense. But
truly. And I can honestly see something like that happening, right? Just given the fact that we have, those 4 second round picks, um, why not use one or two or one in Azari to move up to 20, with that Vegas pick. Like I think that'd be a good move on Conroy's part.
yeah,
If
why
they're
not?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think that's almost a safe bet, just given the amount of draft capital that we have in the first two rounds. I think it's almost a certainty because I think picking four players in the second round is almost detrimental. I think it would be very difficult to utilize those players. In theory, they would be signing their entry levels at the same time. They would go, they'd be RFAs at the same time. Not saying that all four of those are going to even pan out, but I just think
Yeah,
it would
but
be
you're
hard to
expecting
manage.
like one or two, both of your first round picks from this year to
Mhm.
pan out. You're
Hoping,
expecting
yeah.
two out of those four second round picks to pan out. Then you're expecting
Mhm.
some of your second round picks and first round picks from next year this to pan out, and you're gonna run into a logjam, and it's going to be a lot of work. First of all, not that that matters, he gets paid for it, but a lot of work for Conroy to keep all those, to sign all those players, especially when it becomes RFA time and all
Yeah.
that type of stuff. And if they can't keep some of them, it'll be a lot of work to trade them, and it's just like it's creating an unnecessary logjam. Um, if and plus, who knows how much cap space we have by then. Um, but if you package up a couple of those, you're kind of, plus we already have like a lot of wingers in the system, right? And to the point where we're going to be moving a bunch of them up to the AHL, and the guys in the AHL aren't quite ready for the NHL yet. So we're already have a log jam in the AHL of wingers specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, that's where I am with that specific topic. Why don't you move on to your
Yep.
next one?
My next one, I think it's funny because I'm going to say this jokingly more than anything, um, because I think that we're going to move on from Zari, and that's effectively sending out one of our potential centers for next year. I think that being said, it'll shortlist us at the center position for the 26-27 season. So I think they're going to make a big splash at the in the UFA market, and by big splash I mean like pick up a 30-year-old that they can sign for a year or two to kind of fill a position while players develop and they figure out that center position, right? Because moving into next year, like we only have a few players, like not many, right? Like what do we have? We have hold on, let me get my list here because it's a doozy, everybody. The list for center for the 26-27 season. We've got Morgan Frost, which I mean, obviously he turned into a bit of a fan favorite there at the end. Not a first line center, but that's okay. We have Michael Backlund, the captain. Obviously, he is signed for another 2 years, which is which is great. His new contract kicks in. Then we have Ryan Strome, who's the spring chicken that he is. Be leading that third, fourth line, and then after that, we have John Beecher and Martin Pospisil. That I mean, I don't know if we want to roll into the season with that as all of our centers, though it would assist us in picking better in the 2027 draft. But that's okay. So that being
In
said,
theory,
I think in theory, I feel like just given what's available in the UFA market, which is quite stunning. If you haven't looked at the list, let me tell you, it is something else. It is amazing. So
especially since
just a
Charlie
couple,
Coyle got signed the other day,
you know what? And that's it. It's like, well, there goes
the
any
only
future for the
center.
Calgary Flames. Yeah. But not the only center, Dylan. Have you considered potentially signing 29-year-old Bobby McCann, who formerly coming off of Seattle?
Bobby McMahon or
McCann, yeah.
Jared McCann.
Well, I was thinking Bobby.
Okay, I think Bobby's is a winger, although maybe he plays center too. I'm not sure, but yeah,
They list him as a center. I think he's kind of he's a
Zary.
hybrid.
Yeah,
He'll play where he's told. I think he's one of those guys.
yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm gonna push back on the we don't have centers narrative right now because we're in a like the Flames are kind of in a era right now where they should be trying out young guys. And in the last couple months alone, we've uh, signed Tyson Gross, who looked really good in. I think he played two games or 3 games, and he looked really good in pretty much the whole time except for one period. I thought. By really good, I mean really good for a fourth line center. Um,
Yeah.
and he's a young guy coming out of St. Cloud University. We have Rory Cairns, who I think has absolutely earned like a real look, and I don't
Hmm.
think they're going to cut ties with him, at least quite yet. We have Sam Morton, who also probably
Yeah.
would be a perfectly fine fourth line center, and we also acquired Jonathan Castagna in one of those trades at the deadline. I think that was the Uyghur trade, and he's another guy who might be able to come in and push for a spot. Although I kind of think that he's probably more of a you know AHL top six type of a guy for next year. But I think between Morton and Gross specifically and Cairns, I think we probably have the guys to cycle in and out of the lineup for, the season and
Yeah.
give everybody the chances that they've deserved.
Yeah, no, and that's completely fair because I have been clamoring for the last couple of seasons that we need to quit signing UFAs and give the kids a chance to play. So
Yeah.
I do agree with you that that would be a better play for sure as far as the Flames are concerned moving forward. Because
Yeah.
I mean, but with them and the addition of Pospisil and Ryan Strome and what like our fourth and third line, like all of a sudden we've got a logjam at center, right?
And can we just agree that Pospisil shouldn't be a center?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and quite frankly, if Pospisil gets packaged in that maneuver to bump up, I'm perfectly okay with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like 2 years ago, I was a huge Pospisil fan.
That's funny because
I
that's
tell you what,
those guys played together that year, just Pospisil and Zary, right? And
yeah,
they
they were
looked they
exciting.
both looked really good. I think Pospisil was miscast a little bit more than Zary, but they both looked great. And honestly, like I've I don't need to see Pospisil anymore
Right,
at all because the way he plays attracts things happening to him that he shouldn't have happened to him because he's a shit
right,
disturber and he has a lot of bad concussion and neck type of injuries in his history, and
yeah,
he's like one punch or one bad hit away from you're done, you know, from fucking
yeah,
Paul Korea land. Like
yeah, yeah. I feel like he's one bad move away from potentially not walking again, not
and it's not
being able
even
to
that I
open his
dislike the
eyes in
player.
the daylight.
I don't even dislike the player. I don't think I don't think that that's a good guy to have in the lineup for the purposes that he's in our lineup for. He's not in our lineup to score. He's in our lineup to
No,
be a shit disturber, and that's the thing that he shouldn't do anymore. I think if he has a
right,
career in hockey, he's going to have to be an AHL scorer because he's a really good AHL scorer. But
yeah,
he's not. He shouldn't be a shit disturber anymore because it's bad for the rest of his life.
yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
my opinion, I'm no doctor, but this is pretty common knowledge.
Which is fun, not funny, but like even in the A, he was known for these types of injuries as well.
Yes.
Like unfortunately for Martin, his entire career has been plagued with
Same with
concussion
Connor. Yeah,
situations.
both of
Yeah.
them.
So yeah, exactly. So okay, so the two guys that played with Kadri that we shipped off Kadri, so it's probably time to move on from his other two line mates from 2 seasons or 3 seasons ago, I guess now. Okay, well,
I
that's
guess.
fair.
Um,
Bring in the kids.
so that kind of rolls into my next one, which is the Flames are going to trade at least two forwards. None of them are going to be named Blake Coleman in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think the team is missing a lot of. Well, I don't think. I think the team thinks that they're missing leadership now without Anderson and um,
Uyghur.
Anderson, Uyghur, and Kadri. Now I think White Cloud has become a pretty good leader on the team. I'm not sold
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be around for a lot longer, but I kind of think that they view Coleman as like Backlund retires, Coleman's the captain type of a guy, which I would
Yeah.
be completely okay with. I'm a huge fan of the player. I think it would be best for the team if they trade him because he's got some good trade value, but I'm not going to be overly upset if they don't. because there is that part of his game as well. But I think there's going to be two, whether it's, Zeri and Strom, or Zeri and Farabee, or even Frost and Farabee, or Frost and Strom. Like there's gonna be Pospisil and Zeri. There's gonna be two forwards at least moved that are not Blake Coleman, and Coleman's gonna sign an extension.
Wow, the extension part, you really threw that in at the end. I was in 100% agreement with you until then.
The extension won't keep him from being traded, though.
No, that's true. But
Yeah.
I think one of the things that would be an asset to somebody trying to make a push for the cup in the 2027 playoffs would be a rental,
Yeah.
like somebody like Blake Coleman.
Absolutely.
I thought he was going to get traded at the deadline last season,
Me
just
too.
because he
But
had that extra year.
plus, neither of us thought Kadri was actually going to be traded. So
Sure, yeah, yeah, and I honestly think that a Blake Coleman would bring you just such a fucking kick ass return at the deadline. I
especially
think trading him
considering
during
he's
the
like a
summer
third
would be
line guy. Like,
yeah,
he's just
yeah.
got the pedigree. He's the
He's
prototypical
a
third
winner.
line guy who you want
Yeah,
in order to win cups, right? Like,
yeah, yeah. He does. He goes about his everyday life the right way, on the ice, off the ice. He's a guy you want in your locker room. He's a guy you want on the ice. He's just yeah, he's a leader. He puts his body on the line. He can score. He can back check. He can play power play if you want, but he's really good at the penalty kill.
and
Like
for
just
like team
yeah,
camaraderie as well. Like, when it comes to,
yeah.
there has been a couple times where they've posted on social medias, like the Flames have posted on social medias that the team is in Dallas or traveling around Dallas, and you know Coleman's wife and kids came along with the trip, and
Mhm.
went, they had a big team dinner at their house, and a bunch of them stayed there, and they fucking played golf in his backyard and shit like that, right? Like, there's just there's so much to Coleman that makes him so valuable to any, honestly, a rebuilding team as well. Um,
Well,
but
his leadership.
mostly
Yeah.
to a contending team. But yeah, that's kind of my thought. Um, Again, I think it's probably most beneficial for the Flames if they get rid of him, not because I
Mhm.
want them to get rid of him, but because he's gonna, like you said, garner a good trade return.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
think that's gonna happen.
So it's been a good conversation. So far in the 30-35 minutes that we've been talking, we've traded away your two favorite players on the team
Zeri and
for whatever
Pospisil?
reason. No, because we're going to trade Coleman at the deadline.
Oh,
I just
Zeri and Coleman. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
fair. Yeah.
But no, I
No,
mean when it comes to Coleman, I mean he's the guy that you want on your team. I wouldn't be super angry if we extended him at some point through the season, as long as there is an expectation that we're going to trade him. I It's hard to say. Like, I think a team looking for that extra push is only going to want him for that extra push and not necessarily moving forward after. So I think we would do better off without that extension. And then I
yeah,
think he would also do fairly well on the UFA market, especially if he's able to come off winning another cup too,
yeah.
right? It's
So
hard to say.
my whole thing there, like, an extension isn't gonna stop him from being traded, but, like, I'm gonna go a step further with this. Like, he's gonna finish his career as a Flame. Like, he's gonna retire as a Flame. He'll be here for the rest of his career. That's
Hmm. Well, that's the show, everybody. Thanks for coming. We'll thanks for tuning in for it. Jeez.
Yeah,
Jeez. It
no,
just
I
gets bold,
mean,
go bolder and bolder. Okay. Got it.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I just yeah, I just feel that's the way to go. That's again, I don't think that's the way to go for the team, but I think that's the way they will go.
He's 34 right now. I feel like he's got 3 years for sure, maybe 4 years left in his
Yeah.
in his body because he doesn't play lightly.
No.
And
He also
being a
started
family
his
man,
NHL career late.
fair,
Yeah.
fair. But I know he's a very devoted father as well, and I feel like he's going to want to
Go closer.
kick back and relax with those girls of his. But
Yeah.
I mean, I could easily see him playing 3 more years for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't look like he was slowing down last year. He
No.
was fifth on the team for scoring and all that, I believe.
Yeah.
He was leading the team for a bit.
Yeah. So you have another one here?
Yeah. This is the boldest one of them all. I honestly think the 2026 summer is going to be the most vanilla summer that the Flames have had in at least 5 years. I don't think there's really going to be a lot of anything going on aside from maybe moving up in the draft. But I think other than that, I honestly think that they're going to,
Post draft that's gonna be dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's fair.
yeah. And in all honesty, that it would be my preference anyways. You
Yeah.
know,
You
I
don't want to
I
see
want
any of the
to.
wingers traded?
I mean, is if they're trading people away, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I really don't want them to bring players in. Like I've been kind of screaming to the high heavens for the last couple of seasons, the fact that, they keep talking about letting the kids play and then signing 30-year-olds, and
Or
I was over it.
bringing in Mata and White Cloud,
Yeah. I mean,
who both and
the
Strome, all three of them turned into success
absolutely.
stories and probably will end up getting us good returns when we do end up trading them. But
But right. I know it's funny, like when like Matt, I definitely didn't want, and he
mm,
started out pretty rough, but he as the season continued on, he actually looked pretty good down the stretch.
yeah, White Cloud was
White,
just good the whole way through.
he really was.
And
Yeah,
Strome,
I had
the
no
second
idea how much
Strome came in, he was great.
he was flying. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was really excited about being given the opportunity to just play.
He's been really good on the panel too. I've really enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing I want to give Conroy credit for. Like the guys that he's targeted, even if they're, older than you and I would like, no, even go back a little bit. Like Sharon Govich obviously is liked in the dressing room.
Mhm.
Miramonov was liked in the dressing room. And
Was he?
not yeah. Yeah, he was. Strome, White Cloud, Mata liked in the dressing room, liked by the fans.
Mhm.
Sharon Govich's persona, I think, is liked by the fans as well. Like he's targeted really good people, whether or not they've worked out, you know, on the ice or not. Like Sharon Govich, probably not as well as we would have liked after that first year.
Yeah.
But
Well, even
Strome,
Frost.
Mata, White Cloud obviously have worked out pretty good on all fronts. But
Yeah. But
we're not bringing in James Neal anymore. Mike
Frost
Smith.
and Farabee, like he's done pretty well with the players that he's brought in via trade.
And like almost all of those guys have like save Miramonov, Grushnikov, and
Mm.
Sharon Govich. I'd say all of the rest of the guys on the acquired list,
Mm.
even Cooley, right? Like all the rest of the guys on the
Yeah.
acquired list are extremely good people, and you can tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I like that, and probably again maybe add Miromanov to the list on this one, but the rest of them have also been so good in comparison to what we expected that Anderson's turned into two first round picks if Vegas wins the cup, possibly two first round picks, and a guy who's looking like he could fetch us a late
Right.
first round pick, right?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty fucking good. But
Yeah. That
anyways, back to your point about the summer being vanilla.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like aside from the couple of in my opinion, outlandish things that I've said, as far as picking up Bobby McCann and things like that, which I honestly don't think is going to happen.
Bobby McMahon.
Um, I said McCann again, didn't I? McMahon.
Jared McCann.
Yes. Um, I want to see the kids play. So, if we're shipping guys out for more draft capital, for the 2027 draft or 2028 draft, great. I'm all for it. Um, but yeah, I want to see, the three centers that you spoke about when I was talking about doing the UFA signing. I want to see them play. I want to see them given a chance. I want to see. I mean, really, we pulled up three defenders this year that they all looked really well. Like I was really
By
excited
the end
about
of the
the
season, all of them looked good. And
yeah,
Kuznetsov and Brustevich, I'd argue, looked good there the entire time.
yeah. It's Netsov for sure. Like
And
I
Zane
mean, when
had
he
had
came
a
up,
rough
like you
start.
just couldn't you couldn't pull him out of the game. Like
No,
honestly, he just a steady defender. It
I
was I
think
was
Kuznetsov had one bad game,
right.
like for a
Yeah.
23-year-old fucking defenseman. That's
Yeah.
what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
Especially on a team
100%.
that can't score or even get the puck up the ice.
So many games like you go through the entire game and you're like, "Oh, there's Kuzi. Yeah, he is playing tonight." If a defender can go most of the night without you noticing him, that's a good thing,
Yeah,
right? That really
absolutely.
is.
Um, so I get like we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but this is going to be my last kind of prediction for the off season. And it kind of ties into your, it being vanilla thing, but I don't think the Flames are going to sign any free agents, not even one.
Yeah.
At least NHL level free agents. They might have to get um because they're losing Grushnikov and they've already lost a couple of other good
Mhm.
AHL defensemen to
Right.
the NHL. They might have to get like a middle six center unless Basha ends up playing center, which is also a possibility. Um,
Mm.
and maybe a defenseman or two, kind of a AHL type of move. But I don't see them getting any NHL level free agents just because when it comes like teams that are rebuilding and in the stage of the rebuild that we are in should not be signing long-term deals to free agents first of all,
Yeah.
unless they're like your own restricted free agents. But yeah, I feel like any guys that you do sign are supposed to be or should be, projects that you want to really boost the value of so you can trade, right? And right now we're sitting on Farabee and Frost. Some people think that they're long-term pieces on the team. I'm not so sold on that. I think they're both like pump and dump kind of guys. I think I think Mata, White Cloud, even borderline Sharon Govich and Strom, like all these guys, like there's already too many players on the team that are projects to pump and dump. We don't need any more right now. And that's how I think Conroy probably sees it too, because he wants to see the kids play as well.
Yeah, I really hope he does. I'm totally okay with that. That is 100% what I wanted for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm completely on board with that.
Yeah.
I in fact, I wholeheartedly endorse that.
I thought you might. Plus, there's not really
Before
anybody out there. Like, there's
I
nobody
hate
out
to
there
dis
that's ever going to get you a first round pick left in free
no,
agency. So,
no, there really isn't.
and also, like, this is just as an aside to the fucking, like, I don't like shitting on the fan base because, you know, I want you guys to listen, but like, guys, Devin Cooley is not worth a first round pick. He's a fucking backup.
You shut your mouth, Dylan.
Like, chill. I like the guy. He was out of his mind this year as a 1B for the first time in his career. He played like what, more than 2 NHL games for the first time in his career. And
Yeah,
he's like 28, and all of a sudden people think, like, I was reading today, some guy was saying that he wouldn't trade Cooley for the 9th overall pick. I'm like,
right.
what
Yeah,
are we
yeah.
doing here?
I read that comment in Flames Hub as well. The because Matt was trolling the entire
Again.
page for the day, which was fantastic. Well done, Matt. If you're watching this, but yeah, what did you say? The said Cooley alone is worth the 9th overall pick, and I wouldn't even trade him for that pick. And I'm just like, oh my, oh my, like I've seen bad comments in sports fan pages, but
That
holy
was,
shit,
yeah,
like that was beyond dumb. Like that was borderline,
like,
like that bordered on just
Wolf to
mind-numbingly
me
dumb. Like
is borderline untouchable. Wolf is as untouchable on this team as you get. It's like Wolf, Gridden, and Zane, pretty much, are the three, and they're not even untouchable. But like,
right,
I don't even know if Wolf gets you the 9th overall pick, and he's like a 24-year-old signed long term guy
yeah,
with elite upside. Like,
stud. I, if you can get pick 1 through 50 straight up for Cooley, you pull that trigger immediately.
immediately, if yeah,
Like you don't
if you get like
without
a
any hesitation.
if you get a 3rd round pick for Cooley, you probably do it.
You think about it, right?
Yeah,
I don't know about the third, to be honest with you. I think
if it's a
I
high
think
3rd, I'd probably do it.
yeah.
I also think Cooley brings a lot of value to
He
the
bring
team. Like, I'm not
yeah,
trying to shit on Cooley because I like what he does for the Flames. I like what he does for the locker
yeah,
room. He seems to be a pretty damn good backup, 1B, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I'm just not it, like, I don't think that
yeah.
you can justify not trading him or calling him untouchable or anything if
Yeah,
you
he's
get a
definitely not
second.
untouchable.
If somebody comes at you with a 2nd round pick, it would be awful, awful, awful asset management to not do it,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can get
Yeah, I agree.
another backup easy
Well,
in
we have
free
another
agency.
backup, right? Like who came in the last game or last
Sergiev.
Sergio. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's NHL ready, and Yegorov
Oh, he's
just signed in college, and like, we have a bunch of guys coming up. I don't think anybody's really NHL ready yet, but you can get a backup for 1 or 2 years in free agency. You can trade a fucking 7th round pick for one.
yeah.
Like,
No.
yeah,
Yeah, especially so next year, oh no, Wolf has to be an actual number one opposed to a 1A. Like,
yeah,
okay.
shucks,
Like I feel like this is the time to test that anyways, right?
exactly.
give him those minutes, give him those reps, get him used to
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else, Chris? I'm pretty much done here, but
I was just looking at our list of RFA and UFA that we have this summer, and I was wondering if you wouldn't mind entertaining a very quick sign or leave or sign or dump questionnaire very quickly on the players.
yeah, go for it.
All right. So at the NHL level, we have 3 UFAs. Um, I'm assuming I know your answer already, but I'm just going to go ahead and entertain it. Um, Ryan Lomberg.
No,
That's surprising. Victor Olofsson.
no.
No. Jake Bean.
Oh, absolutely not.
And then we do have John Beecher as an RFA. I mean, I say extend him.
Um, I don't know. I'd rather see Tyson Gross and
Player.
Rory Cairns and those guys. Like I'm not going to be horribly upset if they qualify him and he takes his qualifying offer for 1 year or whatever. I'm not going to be upset about that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a long term deal. This guy screams Trent Frederick to me.
Mm.
I don't want to see a long term deal or anything. But I'd rather see the younger guys. Like he's not even old actually, but I'd
Yeah.
rather I'd rather see the Karens and the Gross and the Morton and those guys given that opportunity. But I wouldn't be upset. Like I'd be kind of annoyed if Lomberg was back. I'd be kind of annoyed. I'd be extremely annoyed if Olofsson or Bean were back.
Yeah.
But I would not be
100%.
extremely annoyed if Beecher was back.
No, and I think the way, in my opinion, the way you structure that deal is that you give the option to give him less money, but spend most of the year in the A, giving the other guys the opportunity to be up, and then that gives you a
Well,
roster player down there.
it does, but then he'd have to clear waivers, which if he gets claimed, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Fair. Fair.
yeah. The
Fair.
and the one of the nice things also is that Markstrom and Anderson are UFA now, so their contracts are officially off the books now as of
Yeah.
July
Markstrom's not a
1.
UFA though. I know what you're trying to say.
Well,
Their retention is off the books, but Markstrom,
yeah,
after
yeah,
got signed to another 3 years or something like that.
yeah. But yeah, as far as what cap wages says they, because his contract ran out as of
Yes.
this year, and then obviously Anderson and Maramonoff is off the books as well, so that's good. I say, thanks for your time in Calgary, but if you want to
I
sign
believe
a AHL
he
deal.
already signed in Russia. I believe.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do you want to do any of the AHL guys?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I
Let's do them
all
quick.
right.
Yep.
Okay. So you got Stromgren, RFA.
Absolutely. Keep them.
Yeah, 100%. Justin Kirkland, UFA.
Yeah. Take him or
Right.
leave him. I'm pretty easy. If he's willing to be, I think if he's willing to be in the AHL all year, then sure.
Mhm.
But you have other guys you want to be in the NHL. So if he wants to be an NHLer, then let him go. If he is
Yeah.
okay with being on an AHL level deal, then sure.
Yeah. Agreed. Carter King, RFA.
Yeah, keep him around.
Brennan Othman, coming off his entry level.
Oh man, I forgot about him when it comes to guys who probably are NHL ready. Um,
At least he's just a winger, right?
I don't know if you don't
Mhm.
just tender him and then try and trade him for like a fourth or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I wouldn't be like crushed if they signed him. short term, but I don't see a point really. I don't see
Yeah.
much there.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. The
Is Karen's
he's
not also a
yeah.
RFA?
Yeah, he's on the list too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely keep Karen's.
Uh,
Yeah.
there's quite a few of the A that are coming up on the contract. You
I
have
believe
Parker Bell,
take him or leave
Lucas
him.
Siona,
I
Clark
feel like
Bishop.
Siona's probably going to want to move on. Who's
Yeah.
the next one?
Clark Bishop. I mean, he's 30 years old. Like, let him go.
Yeah,
Less than
but
sign a
he's
year.
also, I believe he's the captain. I
Right.
believe. Um,
Right.
keep take him or leave him. Like if he wants to stick around and be the AHL captain and be, you know, a mentor for the kids coming through the A, then sure,
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got Sam Martin, RFA.
absolutely keep him.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's shown well, you know,
Yeah,
on both ends. Like when he's come up, I mean, he hasn't wowed anybody, but he's been serviceable and he looks good in the A.
yeah,
I think I mean he's worth keeping around. You know, and obviously Rory Cairns, which
yeah.
is an absolute. On defense, Gavin White.
I have
I don't really.
zero feelings. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't really have much of an opinion on Gavin White, to be honest with you. I don't know much about his game.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know enough to say
Mm,
yes or no. I'll trust
yeah,
Conroy on that one,
fair.
or Brad Pascal, I guess.
Artem Grushkinov.
Grishnikov.
Artem. Yeah, Grushkinov is coming off his entry level. He's 23. I say left-handed D. We need those.
Yeah, but like he didn't even show very well in the AHL.
Yeah.
He was part of the Tanev deal. I don't know, man. I feel like Etienne Morin's going to be a full timer. I feel like you're probably going to get like Henry Muse in there, probably, although he's a right-handed defenseman.
Hmm.
Morin's a left. Um,
So
like
there's nine listed, and two of them already play on the Flames.
being Brstevich and Perek.
Um, Kuznetsov and Bristevich, and then Maramonov too is listed. So there's only six defensemen
Is Morin on the
on
list?
the Moran's on the list. Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe I guess you do need bodies, and we're probably gonna. Eric Jameson is a defenseman, isn't he?
Is he? Where's he playing?
I can't remember, but I believe he's a defenseman. Let me see. But he's playing in college. I know that much for
Oh, is he?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a defense. Yeah, he's a left shot defenseman, and I think he's probably going to try turn pro. But that doesn't mean he's. You need more than
You need
6, right?
bodies.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
sure.
Exactly.
If Grushnikov wants to stay and play a middle pair type of a role in the AHL, then sure.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought too. Like, I mean, because just given the lack of bodies, so be it. If he ends up being, 6'7", then he ends up being 6'7".
Yeah.
And then Maramonov, okay, UFA done. That's fine. And then just a couple of goalies.
Yeah.
So we got Owen Say, RFA. Obviously,
Yeah. Keep him.
you obviously you extend that, and then Ivan Prosvetov
No,
is a UFA. But I mean, yeah, I say let him go. You
I
have
think that was just a failed
yeah,
project. Like
fair.
it was fine for the year or whatever. It was good. It was only 1 year. It looked like he was probably going to get some NHL time because Cooley came into the season looking so bad. It looked like
Mhm.
Prosvetov was probably going to end up getting some games, but he didn't. And I think that was kind of part of the agreement, is that he wanted to play NHL games and then he never did. So he probably won't even answer the phone, to be honest. And I don't care about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Yeah.
be it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with UFAs like that. You know, it's like, oh, you don't want to play here? Okay, sounds good. See you later.
Exactly.
Beauty. Well, that's a list.
Yeah.
You made it through it, Dylan. Well done.
Whew. All right. Well, make sure you like and subscribe. Share us with your friends, all that good stuff. Let us know if you have any hot takes, or even not really hot takes, in the comment section below on what's going to happen this summer. Or, you know what? Let us know what your predictions are for the rest of the Stanley Cup final. Now that it's 1-1.
Now it's 1-1. And just so you know, Cooley for ninth overall is not a hot take. It's just asinine, so don't do it.
It's
Unless
not a
you
hot
want to
take,
put
it's a bad take. There's a
a bad
difference
take.
between a hot take and a
But
bad
it's
take.
but it's worth putting in the comment section if you want to say it, just so people can laugh at you and just build more comments. It's all good.
Yeah. So do all that good stuff, and make sure you check out the Rocky Mountain Maniacs, Calgary band that does our um, intro song and outro song. In the description below, we'll put a link for that. And yeah, cheers, go Flames, go. Let's hope Stenberg falls to 6 or something like that, and we have something huge to talk about.
Man, we're getting a right-handed D, and you know it. Kidding.
If we
I'm
get
kidding.
there are 8 guys out of the top 10 that I want, and I
Right.
have just the worst feeling that we're gonna get the one guy I don't want.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
is Keaton
I know.
Bearhoff.
Yep.
I have no desire. There's other right-handed D in there I'd like. There's left-handed D in there I'd love to have. There's centers and wingers and undersized guys, and all. There's great players in there, and I just don't want Fairhoff. He's the only. I did not like
Yeah.
the
Haven't liked
viewings I
anything
had of
about it
him
so
this
far.
year. Were not good.
Yeah. 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 That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think
Against.
it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about that a little bit more as the draft climbs closer. We should definitely make sure we do some more episodes here in the next couple weeks. But yeah, cheers, everybody.
Right on. Cheers.